Greetings, petrolheads. Welcome back to Automation, the car company tycoon game. I apologize if it sounds a little bit echoey here, because it does for me in my room. I don't know how much that carries over to the video, but hope it doesn't as much. And I'm gonna continue with the ESE campaign this week. Sorry if you get a little bit bored of that, but it is because mainly yeah, I'd like to do replicas, but replicas, or at least doing them properly, requires a lot of time. A lot of time for research and stuff. And it's time that I currently just don't have. And, well, basically that's it then, isn't it? I really can't find the time to really do all the research necessary for replicas, because you gotta get the engine specs right. The sort of wait, weren't we using this partition before for the Conqueror? In any case, yeah, replicas just require a lot of time to do properly, and yeah, that's the problem right now. I got more, more work for my job to do. I'm working also on a new trailer, because the current one that I have on my channel is still for my old name, which was changed sometime last summer. So it's about time I make a new trailer, right? I think we've used this body before on the Conqueror, but I don't know. Anyway, this is gonna be the Mark III Conqueror, if I didn't mention that before. So this being 2001, I'm gonna make it an aluminium chassis. Like McPherson's front and multi-link rear. I think is sort of a classic setup, but I could also go for a double wishbones. I'm gonna look into that a little bit later. Same goes for the panel materials. I could go to full aluminium or even fiberglass if I feel like I need to. But for now I'm gonna keep it partial alu to sort of cut the cost down a little bit. There is the signature grille. And I want to sort of try something new here. That is of course not the proper placement now. And now I'm going to surround these three pipes with a vent. What kind of vent could we take here? This to make it look sort of Alpha 159-ish. That is not proper placement on the vent here, and also this guy needs to be a little bit smaller, and then you need to move a little bit further to the right. That overall just doesn't fit. The lights need to be smaller, and also the vent. So let's use this one as a sort of starting point. Wrap this around it. And now clone it and adjust the size accordingly. Yes, okay. Now the badge is gonna go up here. Then, because this is sort of gonna compete with the BMW M3, which I think in the E46 generation only had a coupe version anyway. There was no saloon, so therefore it's pretty standard, I think, for this to be a coupe and compete with the M3. So with that, I'm gonna give it some extra indicators down here, because I sort of like that kind of old school look, even though it is, you know, it meets old school and new school of, you know, speaking in 2001, because, you know, in the 90s you had those indicators on the side there on the bumper, and in the 2000s they were sort of starting to integrate those into the main headlight arrangement. Yeah, and just generally they started making the headlights a little bit more detailed, as we are doing here as well. Maybe I should actually stretch the vents a little bit and move the headlights a little bit further apart. So this would go here, this would stay here, and this would go over there. Yeah, I think that makes it look a lot better. And some small vents down here, I guess. I think I'm gonna go with these. Yeah, okay, that is certainly aggressive enough for a sports coupe, I think. And obviously we need some door handles. So now, as far as rear end designs go, I don't really know yet what I want to do here, because the 2000s, I mean 2001, I don't know. That was the time where, you know, taillights and headlights also started not being just simply round or rectangular anymore. That's where they started adding some shape to the whole thing, some creativity, if you will. And you know what, I want to make this a little bit bigger. Okay, and then cut it off at an angle like this. Then add a badge up here. Then I'm gonna make something like this in between here. And I'm gonna add the reverse lights, the white ones, into that fixture as well. I can make the badge a little bit bigger. And I don't really know how, you know, sort of representative this rear end design is for the 2000s. There was just so much different stuff going on back there. Just adding those indicators in there as well, I think, would probably be fitting. Then wait, where is the thing? There it is. Of course, we are also going to add a lip. And some exhaust pipes. Exhausts. There we go. And then, as far as colors go, what to take here? Maybe make it black. Yeah, why not? It looks kind of mean. Sure. Rear-wheel drive. What do we got as far as wheel arches go? What are our max tire widths? 245s on the front would probably be sufficient already. 305s in the rear is a little bit much, I guess. Okay, well, 295s it is then. So, 2001, we are gonna build a new 5-liter block. Let's see. Oh, okay. 92.5 by 93. Didn't we use this exact bore-to-stroke ratio in the last 5-liter block? I kinda wanna go up to like 94 bore and then reduce the stroke. There we go, 94 by 90. Okay, so that is the revised bore-to-stroke ratio there. I'm gonna use ALSI for the block and the head. We are gonna continue using VVL. I don't think we need titanium conrods here. They're a little bit too expensive. Then as far as VVL profile goes, let's go with 75 for now. Is this gonna be naturally aspirated? Direct injection is still a little bit too uncommon, a little bit too fancy for 2001. Let's go with this engine head cover. Yeah, okay. And then the RPM limit is gonna be around 7,000, I guess. So we are knocking, that is okay though. We can just reduce this. 457 horsepower now, holy moly. That's a lot. I think I'm gonna cut down the VVL profile a little bit. Or a lot. 424 horsepower. How much does the reliability change if we go to lightweight forged pistons? Oh, 63.9, that's a... And also smoothness went up from 59 to 63.5, so I think that's worth the investment. Because this isn't gonna be a cheap car to begin with. So 425 horsepower, 351 pound-feet of torque. From this 5-liter V8 engine. I think that's probably powerful enough. I mean, it is even more powerful than the M5 at that of that era was, and it's only really gonna compete with the M3. So it's probably gonna be a little bit of a handful. Gear it to 300 kilometers an hour for now. Second gear will reach 100 kilometers an hour. Or a little bit above that, I guess. Okay, sports tires. We need big tires to tame this thing. Lots of rubber. 18-inch rims. Could even go with 19s. Yeah, let's go with 18s. Cars of this category didn't really have 19-inch rims back then. Neither do I think were 6-piston brakes very popular, in this segment at least. So the rear brakes are gonna be smaller. Then we add a fully clad under tray. I guess we can give this thing a little bit of downforce because we have so much power over the competition. Gonna go with 2 seats, 4 seats. Sport interior with a little bit of quality. Standard infotainment. All the driver assists because it's gonna need them. I think this is gonna be a proper setup here. And then as far as suspension tweaking goes, This is a first setup we can... Why is the ride height so high on this car? Excuse me? With all the other cars, it's usually somewhere between... well, when the bar is around here, it's usually about 175, 150 on some, maybe 200, but 290? Really? Is this... What is this? An off-road coupe body? I don't know. Okay, fuel economy is terrible. Fuel economy is absolutely terrible. I need to address that. Probably by making the... Yeah, I'm gonna make this... I'm gonna detune this engine a little bit, because it is more powerful than it needs to be anyway. So with that, basically all I'm gonna do is lean it out a little bit. Still making 407 horsepower. Can we go to 400 exactly? Not like this. 399. There we go. Okay, 400 horsepower. So basically M5 power in an M3 competitor. That brought the economy up to 17.8 mpg, which is still pretty bad, but probably more comparable to an M5, which has a 4.9 liter V8 with 400 horsepower, so not really that far off of this car. Sport. Family Sport Premium, not that competitive there. Light Sport Premium. This isn't a light sport car. So let's mark this and see where we're lacking. Drivability is good. Sportiness is decent. Comfort is not so good. But then again, you know, it's a sports car and we have sport interior in ESE's tradition. Acceleration is good, I would say. Practicality, footprint, cornering. We do have a lot of bottoming out, even with this enormous ride height. This might also just be a displaying error. Because this sort of ride height is what you get from the pickup truck, I remember. So, don't really think you can compare this to a pickup truck in terms of ride height. Let's see what this does around here. $123.2, and not so good, but not so bad either. So the quarter mile takes 13.1 seconds. I don't know what the previous Conqueror did, but I can't help thinking that this is maybe a little bit underperforming for some reason. Maybe if we go for an electric limited slip differential. That certainly did buff up our acceleration time. So 12.9 seconds now. That's better. Give this a little bit of quality in here, because we are still very cheap. It is now not really affordable anymore for a family sport premium category. Maybe I should just aim for track premium then? Or GT even? No, not really. What else could I really change? 18 miles per gallon. A little bit of gearbox quality never hurt anybody. And a little bit of better tires as well. There we go. So now it costs 46,320 is, I'd say, an appropriate price with the plus 20% markup. Let's see, acceleration wise we're looking ahead at 12.8 quarter mile time and 4.6 seconds from 0 to 100. And this airfield tracks now takes 122.2 seconds, which again is faster than it would do in real life. But let's see, Master Laguna Seca. Let's see what it does here. If it can do it in like 143 or so or below, then I would already be content with that. Oh, 147.3. Or maybe I'm just maybe my standards are just too high. I don't know how good a 147 would be for 2001. I don't know what the E46 M3 would do around there. Maybe I'm just completely maybe I'm a little bit over the top of my standards of a 143 or something. But I think overall we didn't do that badly with this car. It is still somewhat competitive in family sport premium. What if we remove the markup? Yeah, then we're still around here. But the main categories are probably sport and track premium, light sport premium perhaps as well, even though this isn't really a super light car. GT is also getting there. And I don't know where I wanna move this car, where I wanna get this car moving onwards in the future. Like, what is the next generation gonna be like? Mark III. And this is the 5-liter 2001 ESE 5-liter. And that's the NA 400. Good. So I think I'm content with this car for now. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode as well. Leave a like or a comment if you did. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.